Hey friends, how's it going? Beth Reese here. And because we can do these practices anytime, anywhere, and it is a gorgeous day here in Houston, I decided to bring us outside. And so maybe you'll want to do the same either right now during this video or maybe later. So our topic for this week is neurons that fire together, wire together. And what that means, and it's a little bit related to that negativity bias. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that when you are around people who are negative, that you start to take that on and kind of become more and more grumpy or, frustrated, or your thoughts start to be more negative? And how about maybe then if you're around someone who's really positive? Do you notice you start to pick up on that positivity? Maybe can you think of some people in your life that you're drawn to because of their joy, their energy, and maybe some people that after a while you're like, I tend to feel kind of down when I'm around that person. Yeah, I definitely have some people in my life that I can make that distinction. And look, it's not necessarily a problem or a mistake. Um, our negativity bias is a way that our mind tries to protect us, right? We're always looking for that tiger. And if it's not a tiger, and chances it's not, then we can start to cultivate and think about what thoughts we're having, as well as look, having loving kindness for other people, but also knowing when it's kind of time to say a compassionate no. No, maybe I don't need to be around you, right? All right, so let's get started with just a little movement. And for this, I invite you to start out with kind of giving yourself a hug. And then we're going to open our arms up, maybe gently look up, big breath in, and breathe out and bring it back into that Shanti hug. Nice. Let's do that one more time. Let's cross the arms the other way. Ready? And what I love about that breath and movement is it's a great reminder that we can open up and open ourselves up and our joy up to other people. And we also need to remember to bring it in, take care of ourselves. And in fact, you might notice we start that breath in the hug position because really it's important that we take care of ourselves first. Because when we do that, when we are in a good, healthy place, we are better able to be a friend, a colleague, a family member, an athlete for other people. So, the other thing I want to say about neurons that fire together, wire together, means that in our brain, there are these connections, these neurons. So, right, the more we're around positive people, we tend to create those positive pathways. The more we're around negativity or thinking negative thoughts, the more we're going to create those negative pathways. And there's some neuroscience around this that relates to mirror neurons and attunement that there's really evidence that we tend to pick up on the vibes of the people around us. All right. So, what we're going to practice today is called a loving kindness or metta meditation. And it is in the space of in some traditions, there are the four abodes of love or four faces of love. And it's loving kindness, compassion, empathetic joy, which is really being happy for someone else, and then equanimity. And so we'll be covering all four in the next few weeks. And today we'll get started with loving kindness. Now, a word before we get started. There are, during this meditation, I'll be asking you to think of some people, including someone who maybe you find a little negative, a little annoying, a little aversion. And I invite you to pick someone who is not a 10 on the volume scale of annoyance. Pick someone who's maybe a 3 or a 4. Now, that said, at any time when we're meditating, not just today, but any time, if you start to feel like a lot of emotion, um, it happens, feel free to open your eyes, stand up, maybe do a little twist, get a drink of water, do something to help you take care of yourself. And if you need to speak with someone like a friend or a counselor or another adult, Always know that that is a fantastic thing to do. All right, so let's get started with our metta meditation. So let's start by finding that comfortable sitting position. And I have 2 feet planted on the ground. I moved away from the back of my chair so that I can really find myself sitting upright but not rigid. From here, I'm going to rest my hands in my lap so my shoulders can feel supported. And then we can close our eyes, or if you like, you can just lower your gaze down to the ground. And let's start by taking 3 breaths together just to settle. So perhaps breathing in through your nose, that nice natural filter for the air, and breathe out with a sigh. Breathing in, let's scrunch our shoulders to our ears. And breathing out, let your shoulders relax. Breathing in, just let your body fill with air. And breathing out, really let your sitting bones, your bottom, your lower back really melt into the chair. Great. And now release control of your breath. And just notice that you're breathing in and breathing out. And now I invite you to think of someone you really, really love and feel really positively about. Maybe it's a best friend or a parent or a teacher. And even as this person's face comes into your mind's eye, maybe you're noticing you're smiling. Maybe you can even notice that there's kind of a warm sensation filling your chest and throat, which is literally the body sensation of loving kindness. We talk a lot about like the heat of anger body sensation. And here's a kind of yummy body sensation to sort of tag onto. You may feel like you want to put a hand on your chest over your heart. And really let that hand imprint on your chest. Imagining even you are with this person right now. And then if you like, you can repeat these phrases after me, either out loud or silently to yourself. And we'll say these phrases to this person you love so much. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be strong and healthy. Yeah, and then notice if you can still feel that warm humming inside your chest, that loving kindness feeling, the feeling of love. And now trying to maintain this loving kindness feeling, I invite you to think of someone who's a little frustrating. Maybe someone you just feel a little aversion to. Maybe they're a little annoying. Maybe it's someone you know, or maybe it's a political figure, or just any person. Just a little frustrating. And now trying to maintain this sense of loving kindness for all beings. Let's repeat these phrases to this person who maybe you're feeling a little frustration towards. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be strong and healthy. And notice if that feeling of loving kindness has changed at all for you. And it's not a problem if it has. And just notice if you can continue to generate it. So now we'll pivot. And I invite you to imagine that you have a mirror right here in front of you. I want you to imagine looking right into your own eyes. And for this, you might even want to have both hands on your chest over your heart. And really imprint your hands, just gently press them there. And looking at your most best amazing self, repeat again these phrases after me. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be healthy and strong. Again, notice any body sensations, whether it's in your throat area or chest or belly, just these sensations of loving kindness. And when you're ready, we can lower our hands down to our lap. If your eyes are closed, gently flutter them open and take notes of things that are right around you. I'm seeing a chair, table, and when I'm ready, coming back to our virtual space. All right. So check it out. What did you notice in that metta meditation? Was it easier to think of other people? Harder to give it to yourself? Give yourself that loving kindness? Did you notice whether you could transfer the feeling of loving kindness to the person that's a little frustrating? And it's okay. Whatever you're noticing is perfectly fine. Now, keep in mind there are studies, including one from University of California at Berkeley, their Greater Good Science Center, that people who practice this kind of metta or loving kindness meditation, after just even 6 weeks of practice, those neurons in the brain literally start to go down those more positive paths, right? So there is research behind the fact that this is a pretty meaningful practice. So remember, the neurons that fire together, the ones we allow to hang out, they will wire together. So let's wire together what we say we want to wire together. All right, friends, thanks so much for being here today. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I know we could see the sort of sunlight peeking in and out. And we can just welcome it. Welcome the weather in all its phases, just like our thoughts and emotions. All right, friends, take care. Have an amazing day. I'll see you next time.